Another day, another e-bike, and today we are looking at the A20 Air Pro. What do you get for your money? Well, folding pedals, as you can see there because I dropped the thing, belt drive, 250 watt motor, 2-speed automatic gearbox, 20 inch by 1.95 inch, tyres front and rear, 160 hydraulic disc brakes, folds in the middle, comes in give or take about 25 kilo, really light for an e-bike. If you look at some of the fat tyre e-bikes, it's all over the place. Truly UK legal. I have done 17 miles so far on this, not a problem at all. Belt drive means it's pretty much silent, metal mud guards on the front, lights, you've got not a lot of travel on the front, but you have got front suspension. Brake lights, indicators, not really a lot to say. It's a good looking little e-bike. You have got a 36 volt by 9.6 amp hour battery. They say that that is good for give or take about 100 kilometers, whatever that is in English. Let's say 65 mile, do the math. Ergonomics are pretty good. Got yourself a bell. Obviously it folds down really small. I'm very used to riding big fat tyre e-bikes. This obviously isn't one of them. Completely different riding style. The seat is a normal bike style seat, not a lot of padding. We'll see how that pans out for me by the end of the trip. Yeah, who knows. It's got a payload of 120 kilo, which means me, little bit of a fat knacker, can still whack 30 kilo on the back, even though it doesn't give me what rating that is for. Let's say 25 kilo. Generally the standard 25 kilo. Puncture proof tyres, all good in the hood, side stand. Got indicators on the back. Personally, I can't ever see me using them, but it does have them. It has got 3 levels of power assist, which is actually 6 levels, because on this one you have got the sport mode and you've also got the eco mode. Not tried out the sport mode yet, I'll do that at the end. To enable the sport or the eco, you do have to use the app. Now the app will give you like tracking for you, it'll give you all of the specs, give you the battery rundown, give you everything you need. But if you do want to change from sport to eco, you do have to have the app running. The ultra version of this gives you an extra gear, so you get a 3-speed gear, and also the ability to do the changing of the modes directly from the computer. The computer gives you a wealth of information always on display. Gives you your pedal assist level, whatever you're in, your speed, a little battery indicator, but it's also got a line going down the side, and that decreases with the battery, which shows you a little bit more accurate a battery reading. It also has your odometer, your current odometer, and your average speed as well. So all of the information is on the screen as you go. Press and hold the plus button, turns your lights on. Press and hold the minus button, gives you your walking assistance in case you're pushing it up a hill. As I say, it does have indicators on the rear. They are spread apart on the back of the light. They do work. I can't ever see me using them. Me riding a motorbike all the time, you're forever forgetting to turn them off, and there's no indication that no indication when you've left it on or not. Also, I think you'd have to be a very observant driver to see that at the back. Yeah, I'll bring you in, take you for a quick look around the bike, bit closer, and then we will carry on with our little journey, and I'll give you my final thoughts at the end. So let's take a look at the cockpit. Don't know whether or not you're going to be able to see the screen when it lights up. It is readable in daylight, gives you everything you need to know. Spongy hand grips, as you can see. Nice little bell. And you have got your brake levers. Don't know what make they are, but they're good. So your fully adjustable handlebars that fold at the bottom. There's your lockable suspension. And as you can see through the wheel, you do have hydraulic disc brakes on the front. through there. That's where it folds in the middle. You've got your belt drive, your 250 watt motor, again disc brakes at the back. Folding pedals, as you can see, should really have turned the indicators on. There you go, that's what the indicators look like. All in all, a nice looking bike. I think you'll agree. So, as usual, I'll be testing what it's like to ride like a bike. Nice and easy to pull away. Coming up to 12.5 miles an hour, and that automatic gear kicks straight in to give you the higher gear. I'm now at 15 miles an hour, no problem at all. Very quiet bike with this belt drive. Upright stance. I can tell you now, I don't think I'm going to be enjoying the seat after a while. It's a proper old school bike seat and a little bit stiff on my rump. But handling wise, no problem. Those thinner tyres obviously make it a doddle to pedal. Yeah, good start so far. It's one of those bikes that you could pedal all day long as a normal bike. So from a standstill, pedal assist 1, instant on eco mode. There you go, that changed gear nice and smoothly. The gear changes on this are very, very smooth. I do need to see if that 12 mile an hour is a little bit early for it to be coming in the higher gear when you're climbing hills. We'll find out in a moment. I'm way above the 15.5 miles an hour. Not a problem at all to pedal. Got a feeling it may be a little bit twitchy when you're at speed going down a hill. But we'll see, won't we? Having a feeling don't mean shizzle. Front suspension at the front, nothing in the rear. Currently doing 25 mile an hour, feel stable as you like. A little bit bumpy here. Yeah, you can definitely feel it on the back. No problem at all on the front. So speed of pedalling with your legs, you're good to about 20-22 miles an hour before your legs are going too fast. I'm now coming to my first 10% hill. In pedal assist 1, I can feel that on my legs, crank that up to 2, and to 3. No issues. I'm still in the higher gear at the moment. Just waiting for that to change down. Will it? Ain't often I get held up by traffic. Yeah, so that torque sensor really does kick in. Get past the cyclist. But there is a bit of effort there, pedalling up the hill, I have to say. Obviously changed into the higher gear, and as expected, that means you've got to do a little bit more work. Obviously it's easy enough, just drop below 12 mile an hour. 30 odd mile an hour, no problem. Coming back up the hill, currently doing 18. Let's just slow right down until that motor kicks in. 15 now. Definitely giving your legs a bit of a workout. I have got it in eco. Now with this being the Pro model, I'll tell you when it's quieter. That's a bit better. I can hear myself think now. So, with this being the Pro model, the difference between the models, I believe the normal A20 Air is a single speed, Pro model is 2-speed, and the Ultra is a 3-speed. Other things, this has got Bluetooth connectivity and an app which will record all of your ride. What this also does, see if we can squeeze through here. No problem. And instant power with that torque sensor. Right. What it also does is you have 2 different settings for your pedal assist on this. Eco and Sport. I know, Sport on a Commuter happy shopper bike. But it's there as an option. But you've got to access it through the app. On the Ultra, I believe you can access it directly from the computer. It's no big deal, it's easy enough to get to. But if your handlebar doesn't have your phone on you, and it's in your pocket, it's not at a touch. You can do other things like turn the lights on, etc, etc. I believe it's even got a bit of a sat-nav that can direct itself to the screen. Don't quote me on that, have a look at the brochure. I'm a Luddite. Thank you. Love the fact it's got a bell rather than an obnoxious horn, because it is a very quiet bike. I can barely hear that engine, and no rattling because of the belt drive. Oh, put a new gate up. Very manoeuvrable, and straight off with that torque sensor. The trip computer, very easy to read, very simply set out. You've got your current speed, battery power, pedal assist you're in, and all showing at once. Your odometer, your overall odometer, and your average speed. So there's no need to scroll through anything, all the information you need is there. And as I say, your ride is then tracked with the app if you have it turned on. I'm now coming down some gravelly, bumpy sections. The suspension up front is working, as you would expect. Not so much down below. A little bit muddy, a little bit slimy with thin wheels. Let's see if I come a cropper up here. No problem. I do think that higher gear does come in a little bit early. I mean, it's absolutely golden here. I'm pedaling it with no pedal assist. So I'm over the 15.5 mile an hour. And it's no effort. No effort at all. It is a torque sensor used right on this bike, gotta say. But after 4.6 miles, my Harris is feeling it a bit. Power's in straight away when you go. Perfect. Now obviously I'm used to riding big fat tyres where it eats this sort of stuff, where this has got little slim 20-inch wheels, normal bike tyres. They have included puncture-proof tyres, which is a real bonus for obvious reasons. Oh, it stinks around here. Yeah, it's not a problem. Bit of vibration through the bars, definitely a bit of vibration through the seat, as you would expect. For commuting though, also with those big fat tyre bikes, as good as they are, they do come in, you know, always around the 40 kilo mark. This is just nudging over the 20 kilo mark. Proper good. Will fit in the back of your car, no problem at all. Will fit in your flat, house, shed, no problem at all. Yeah, so the convenience of it is right up there. You'd have no problem getting this on a train, on a boat, in the boot of your motor. The grips are great, a little bit spongy. Not a bad ride at all. I'm loving the automatic. The gear changing on the automatic is very smooth. Only trouble is, a little bit early. So just coming down the rutty bike path here. One thing with these pedal assist levels, obviously you still get assistance up to your top speed no matter what level you're in, but it just gives you more or less assistance the higher or lower you get, which is much different than the cadence sensors. And on this one you really can tell the difference. On a lot of torque sensors, it obviously does make a bit of a difference, but you've normally got 7 gears that you're also working through, whereas this has only got 2. So if you're on a flat like I am now, you can take it down to pedal assist 1, maintain your 15 mile an hour, because the bike isn't hard to pedal. Just crank it up to 2, and that just jigs in a little bit more. And 3, I'm barely touching the pedals. Let's see what they're doing. Thank you. It's a nice looking bike. So the ergonomics of this bike. I'm 5'9" and a half, 5'9" and a fag butt, 5'10" on a good day. I've got the seat almost at its highest point. Handlebars on about 3. I could raise them a little, I suppose, the handlebars, just to sit me upright a little. I'm on my toes on the pedals. Not too bad at all. But if you're much taller than me, obviously with that seat height, yeah, something to think about. I am short in trunk and long in leg though. So my legs are quite long for my stumpy little frame. Probably good to about 6'2", 6'3". Have a look at other reviews, I'll tell you. Now, big steep hills, in that top gear, above the speed, you definitely notice it. In fact, while I've got no one around, I'll get up to 15.5 mile an hour. It's a little bit wet. Get in line with this tree and not too bad, a little bit skiddy. But then again, thin tyres, wet tarmac, it's going to be. Hydraulic disc brakes. Didn't want to throw me off the bike. And as usual, they are arse about face. As most bikes are that are not UK made. Rear brake on the right, front brake on the left. On these smooth cycle paths, it's a lovely ride. You can't put a suspension seat post or anything onto it because of the battery being the seat post. And definitely notice the difference to the monkey stump on the rougher ground. It isn't really designed to be ridden on rougher ground, which is unfortunate for me because in a moment I've got 10 miles of the stuff and it's raining. I didn't bring a jacket. Smooth. So this is what the bike is made for. Dotting around town. Weaving in and out of traffic. Passing on your right. Thank you. So here we have then the bumpy off-road section for the next 10 miles. I'm just shy of 9 miles in, and I'm aware of the bike seat. As I've said numerous times on numerous bikes, bike seats are not my friend. And this is definitely at the old classic style bike seat end of the spectrum. My seat bones with every bump, no, it's there. It's not painful, it's a dull ache. But if you're commuting, generally you wouldn't be on roads like this, on a bike that isn't made for roads like this. And 10 miles is a decent commute. So bear that in mind. This is very gravelly under wheel. A bit more than gravelly. It's quite bumpy. And I have got my tyres pumped up to about 45 psi. So they're quite solid. And yeah, it's handling quite well. But if I was to say there was no vibrations coming through, I'd definitely be a liar. Doesn't feel like it's going to slide out from underneath me. The bike itself, there are no rattles, knocks or bangs. That carbon belt is phenomenal. I think it's the 3rd or 4th bike I've tried with it. One thing this bike does have that I don't see the need for is indicators at the back, not the front as well. And the reason I don't see the need for them is I am a seasoned motorcyclist, and there's nothing on the display to let you know that you've left your indicator on. I think, although they're spread apart at the back, I think you'd have to be an observant car driver to notice them. I have to say, with all that I have mentioned, I'm still coming along this bumpy, slippery, gravelly track above the 15.5 under my own steam. And I'm not puffing. That can't be bad, can it? And away I'll go. That's the point. Yep, you can wheelie it quite easily. I'm not going to go through my usual bit where it's all muddy, slippery and cobbles, because these are only thin little wheels and they're not designed for it. Much nicer ride on a bit of paved road. So we've seen that the gravel is manageable. This is a proper unmade road, and one, yeah, you can feel even on the fattest of fat tyres. No real problem. Is the bike light enough to bunny hop over stuff? Let's see if there's anything I can demonstrate. No, there ain't. Yeah, go over that. Yeah, definitely is. Worth noting though, with that front end, if you heavy brake while you're turning with your front wheel, you could do yourself a wrong, and same with every bike. Just obviously the style of this bike will exacerbate it a bit. Thank you. Like a ninja on this thing. So quiet. Thank you. So I've been coming down this very bumpy section now for a couple of miles, and the seat, well, let's just say if it was a few years ago it'd have a Me Too against it, but it's not stupendously bad. I don't like them. Don't like them at all. Everything else is working great guns. This bike has got a payload of 120 kilo, so I've got about 30 kilo I can also strap to it and still use it, because I'm big but I ain't that big. And apparently it's got a range of what they say 100 kilometers. So what's that in English? 65, 70 miles? I don't believe, no. Do the math. I have done currently 13 miles and it's showing about a third of the battery gone, maybe a quarter. We'll see how far I go. When I get a bit closer to home, where we have some bigger hills, I'll whack it into sport mode to see what that's all about. Been a little bit unfair to the bike along the path that I have taken it, because it is a bumpy old track, and this ain't a bumpy old track sort of bike. It's a commuter bike, and commuting it will do fine. The seat post is gradually sliding down. Again, that's down to me putting it together. Didn't quite tighten it up enough. On putting it together, you don't get much easier than putting it together. It comes pretty much fully built. Slip the seat in, put the handlebars on. Yeah, weren't a problem at all. Not a problem. The handle grips are wrapped like a tennis racket. A little bit spongy. Actually quite nice to feel underhand. I would imagine they'd be nice and easy to repair should something go wrong as well. The back of this bike, the longer I ride it now, certainly on rougher ground, when it does hit a bump or a jump, you'll probably see it about now, it proper catapults you up in the air, which is fine. But that sends shock waves right the way through your kyber. Again, it's not meant for bumpy terrain. I've averaged 14.5 miles an hour over 15.2 miles. I'm not putting in huge effort at all. So yeah, it's a great little bike if you use it for what it's used for. That weren't English, what it's meant for. So I've just turned it on to sport mode. Let's see what difference that makes. A lot. Yeah, a lot. That's going to get you where you need to be a lot quicker. Yeah, that kicks you in a hell of a lot quicker. I believe it still only takes you up to the same pedal assisted speed, but you can almost feel that front wheel lift a little. So we will see what that does on some of these bigger hills. It's certainly going to make the battery get eaten a bit more, I reckon. Oh, didn't do my helmet up, look. So yeah, I'm currently in the top gear because it's automatic, and it's definitely pulling me up the hill a bit easier. Sport mode for the win. That surprised me how much of a difference that is. And there was me mocking it earlier. We'll soon find out. There's a right steep old hill up here. Short but steep. And beforehand in eco, I think I would have struggled a bit. So I'm into it now. £15 miles an hour. It's definitely giving me more up the hills. Let's just drop below 12. So I'm stopping on a 12% hill. Pulled away, no problem. Sport for the win. Happy days. So these are the sections that are really going to test the hill climbing ability of it. These are long, steep hills on busy roads. Currently doing 15 miles an hour. And it's giving me a fair amount of power, it's got to be said. My legs are starting to feel it a tad. And of course I'm above that 12 mile an hour where the easier gear kicks in, as predicted. So we get a little bit on a flat here, then it gets steeper again. So you're sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place of, do you just keep powering through and getting the workout on your legs, or do you drop below that 12 mile an hour? Right, long steep hill. Legs are already feeling it, 15.4. 14 and a half. It's still giving me stuff. I'm not blowing a grandmother. 13, 12, 11. That doesn't feel like it's changed. There we go. Stop pedaling, start pedaling again. Drops into the lower gear. Currently doing 8.8. The work is much easier getting me up the hill. Slower, but easier. Just cresting the hill, 11, 12, and it's in. Yeah, so it does look like you might have to stop pedaling to get it to drop back down. Either way, it weren't too much bother. I'll bring you back on the next long hill. So here we go, just entering 10 to 12% hill, goes on for a long old way. I'm in the higher gear, still doing 15.5 mile an hour. It's giving me a reasonable amount of power, as I keep saying. My monkey stump is definitely feeling it after 23 miles. But just starting to feel it in my legs now. At 14 miles an hour, and getting steeper yet. Down to 12. That did not drop in. Stop pedaling, there you go. Very easy pedal at 9 mile an hour. Starts flattening off a tad. And this is what I mean by it kicks in a little bit early. That's now kicked into the higher gear, making me start off this next bit of climb in a higher gear. Perfectly manageable, but you do know you're doing a workout. There you go, stop pedaling, back into the lower gear. So it isn't anything that's going to cause you issues. But I'm glad that I was correct in thinking that it would be a thing. A minor thing, but a thing nonetheless. Now this goes into a long, shallower hill. So if I get up to my 15 mile an hour, avoiding the horse crap, and see if it is easy to maintain in the higher gear. Getting no power at the moment because I'm at 17 mile an hour. Shows you how easy the bike is to pedal. Come, just drop down below. And now. Yeah, not a major concern. I am putting in effort. It's probably about 7% this hill. Still maintaining a 15 and a half mile an hour though. And I'm not blowing out my hoop. So the power was definitely there. The hill climbing capabilities of this bike are more than enough for a commute. As I say, after 23 miles of up and downs and off-road, I'm still okay. Last couple of miles to finish off my 25 mile, and I don't want to show you where I live because some of you look dodgy as flip. So back over to non-cycling Lee, giving you a rundown of what I think of the bike. Forgot to mention, after 25 miles, a half of which is done on sport, I still have a quarter of a battery, probably a third of a battery left. So yeah, 35 mile is definitely achievable, maybe even 40 if you're slightly portly like myself and don't ride it frugally. That sport and half kick in quick. So riding this bike, what are my final thoughts? I've got to say it's been a doddle. The automatic gear is brilliant. It changes up to the higher gear at about 12 miles an hour. Does come in a little bit soon for my liking. If you're climbing a hill, you could be stuck in that higher gear longer than you want to be and have to drop down below 10. I found myself regularly above the 15 and a half miles pedaling this all by myself, which is a good thing. The battery, yeah, I'd say it's easily good for 35-40 miles, even with someone of my stature on it. The ride itself, I'm not a fan of bike seats at the best of times. This definitely is an old school bike seat. It definitely has entered me more than once, but it's meant for commuting. I've taken this off-road for over half of this journey on conditions it's not really meant for. It's been a testament to the punch-proof tyres that nothing's gone through them. It has meant that my monkey stump has been impacted quite a bit. Everything else, yeah, not bad at all. The shocks at the front, they do a job. They're not going to set the world on fire. Automatic gearbox is very smooth. It's a very quiet bike with that belt drive. Means you're not going to get any grease or anything on there. Pedals have held my feet fine. And the weight of it, you know what I mean? I'm not Jeff Capes. There's not a lot to that at all. Battery power in the seat. You've got a little lockable battery compartment down here. Excellent. Lights work. Brake lights work. Everything works. The hydraulic disc brakes obviously work. It's a small, light bike. I think you'll agree it's a good looking little bike. Yeah, everything's finished really, really nicely. You can unbolt these. I think that's to help you get the, not chain, belt on and off. So you can actually take that completely off to get a new one on. It folds in the middle, gets held together with magnets. This comes down, that folds in the middle. We've all seen a bike fold. Do you really need me to see you fold a bike? Have a look at someone else for that. I've averaged about 14.5 miles an hour over the 17 miles to date. Probably going to be the same before I get home. You would have seen just before this what this is like on some of the steeper hills. I haven't reached them yet, but obviously I did on that. So I said that. All in all, fit and finish, a lovely looking bike. I think you'll agree. Every part of the components feel quality. Yeah, it's been good. Metal mud guards do make a bit of a ching sound every time you get stones and that whipping up on them, but nothing's rattled free and I put it together. Putting it together is a doddle. It pretty much comes put together. Nothing to complain about there. All in all, not a bad e-bike. Price-wise and that, it's worth what you're wanting to pay for it. If you're after a commuter, something you can sling on a train, a bus, in the back of your motor, obviously this gives you a lot more advantages over the big fat tyres, but the ride quality does suffer when you're off-road-ish. Absolutely fine on the straight, absolutely fine. And after the distance I've covered so far, which is over 15 miles, not many people's commute is over that, I'm not knackered and I'm not fit. So, the A20 Air Pro. Gets a thumbs up from me. I like the bike. Until next time, ta-ra.